What's good, my people? What's good, my people? It's your boy Dev back with another video. In today's video, we're going to do another playoff preview, and it's going to be the number 2 seed in the Toronto Raptors versus the number 3 seed in the Boston Celtics. This is the first time in 25 seasons that these two teams will be playing against each other in the playoffs, and it's sad to see that Gordon Hayward won't be there for the Boston Celtics to help them out in this series. So just to start off the video, I have a prediction that the Raptors are going to win this series 4-3. I'll let you know in the video how the Boston Celtics can get a few more dubs in this, or get that extra dub in this series to win this series and go to the next round and probably get Gordon Hayward back that round. But let's just get into the starting lineups right quick. And the Boston Celtics have a starting lineup of Daniel Tice at the center spot, averaging 8 points, 4 assists. Jason Tatum averaging 27 points, 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds. They moved Marcus Smart into the starting lineup, who's averaging 9 points, 2 assists, and 1.5 steals a game. Then Kemba Walker at that point guard spot, who's really been dominating in this playoffs for them, averaging 24 points and 4 assists. All of these stats are playoff stats, so don't get lost or confused or be in the comments like, no, he averaged this. No, these are just the playoffs. In the playoffs, there are 4 games that they played last series, and this is the same for the Raptors. So the Raptors starting lineup is Marc Gasol at that center spot, averaging 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Pascal Siakam, who's a very improved player this year, averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. OG Anunoby's averaging 9 points, 6 rebounds. Fred VanVleet, who's another very improved player this year, who's averaging 21 points and 8 rebounds or 8 assists in the playoffs. And then Kyle Lowry comes in at that point guard spot, averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in the 4 games that he played against the Nets. Now, the Raptors did lose 3 games against the Celtics in the regular season. On October 25th, which was the second game of the season, the Celtics won 112-106. Fred VanVleet only had 8 points in that game. Gordon Hayward had 15, Jaylen Brown had 25, and the Celtics looked good from the beginning. Then on December 25th, the Celtics won again, 118-102. It was no Marc Gasol or no Siakam for the Raptors. Then they played 3 days later on the 28th of December. The Raptors won this game 113-97, and in that game, the Raptors still didn't have Marc Gasol or Pascal Siakam. And then just a few weeks ago, they played in the bubble on August 7th, and the Celtics won 122-100. The Raptors just didn't look good at all in this game. But even with all that said, these games were with Gordon Hayward, and that's a big loss for the Celtics. They might be able to get past a weaker team in the 76ers, but against the Raptors, that just won't happen because of the deeper lineup that they have. Without Gordon Hayward in the lineup, they're missing out on floor spacing because they have to put Marcus Smart into that spot, and he's not as a knockdown shooter or known as a knockdown shooter as Gordon Hayward. Can't create his own shot like a Gordon Hayward could, and just really only thrives in transition and is one of the best defenders in the league. And he's going to have a tough task guarding Marcus Smart, but we'll talk about that later. Or Marcus Smart will have a tough task guarding VanVleet. We'll talk about that later, though. But yeah, without Gordon Hayward, it just weakens the bench for the Celtics. It's already a weak bench, but it just makes it that much weaker. Bringing Marcus Smart into the starting lineup, it just makes Enes Kanter have to be that number 1 option on the bench, and he's only averaging 5 points and 6 rebounds. Brad Wanamaker's averaging 5 points, 3 assists, and Grant Williams is averaging 5 points. So it's nothing special off that bench that the Raptors are going to have to worry about, especially stacking that up to the Raptors bench with Serge Ibaka averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, and a block in the playoffs. Norman Powell averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds. Matt Thomas averaging 4 points on 50% shooting from 3. And then Terrence Davis, who's averaging 11 points in the 3 games that he played against the Nets. But back to the Celtics, they do have Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a star in this league now. He's averaging, like I said, 29 points in the playoffs and 45% from deep. He can score off the dribble. He can take it to the rim. He can knock down shots from deep. He can run off screens. Just a really complete player. that Pascal Siakam is going to have a tough task of guarding, even though Jason Tatum said the Raptors give him the toughest are the toughest team for him to score on. And then a lot of pressure is going to be on Jaylen Brown as well. He has to play well. I love watching Jaylen Brown because of just his will to score or his will to get to the hole. He doesn't do anything super spectacular, any crazy dribble moves. He just gets straight to the point, going north and south, going to the basket, and a wonderful defender. The versatility on both sides of the floor for him is really it's amazing to watch. Then, like I said, Marcus Smart is really going to have to shut down Van Vliet. He was so him getting put into the starting lineup isn't bad for the Celtics because of the matchups that they're going to have now. With him guarding Van Vliet, that give Jaylen Brown the task of guarding OG. Then Jason Tatum can guard Pascal, and it just makes that lineup a lot better lineup for the Celtics against the Raptors. So it might be a blessing in disguise. And then the last thing is Kemba Walker has to beat and dominate Kyle Lowry for the Celtics to win that extra game. Like I said, to take the Celtics to the next round, the Eastern Conference Finals. So with all that being said, I still think the Raptors are just a better team. And with that being a better team, they get everyone involved. The ball movement on the Raptors is wonderful to watch. The help defense on the Raptors is just amazing to see, especially having that small backcourt. You just see everyone cheating off of their man and in rotation and getting back, and it's just wonderful. It's wonderful to watch both sides of the ball from the Raptors. Like I said earlier, Jason Tatum said the Raptors are the toughest team to score on for him, and that's not a good thing to say earlier in the season, knowing that you might have a chance to play the Raptors later on in the playoffs, and it's happened now. Pascal Siakam is showing that he doesn't need a Kawhi Leonard to be his Batman and he be the Robin. He's showing that he can be the star on the team, and just with his defense, with his length, he grabs rebounds for them. He does really everything that Nick Nurse asks of him. Van Vliet has shown this year that he's going to get paid in the offseason by some team. Maybe the Raptors can make something happen and bring him back. He's dominating in this playoffs, showing that no one really can guard him. Looking over the floor, getting players in right positions. It's really funny to see him, the shortest man on the court, and really the most dominant player on the court on majority of nights. And then the last thing is Nick Nurse, who was the coach of the year this year, and he deserved it. Got them to the number 2 seed in the East. And like I said, it's fun to watch them play on offense and defense. They play both sides of the ball. They hustle. They believe in their coach. They think that they can win every game. They went on a 15-game winning streak this year, and just dominated since they returned to the bubble. So in the comments, let me know who you think is going to win this series. Let me know if you think I'm completely wrong. If you think that the Celtics are going to win this series, tell me how many games you think it'll go. I want to thank you for watching my video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to my boy Jackson Kruger Sports channel. Hit that sub to my channel at Break It Down Dev. I'll see you in the next one, my people. Be easy.